Hi guys, so this time we have a new video review, and as you can see we are going to talk about fresh release from Eduard. It's a 148 scale Profipack kit and it copies F6F-5 Hellcate in its late version, so it might be interesting for modders who missed the limited edition release. Now they get a chance to assemble it as a Profipack kit, and obviously Profipack will pack not only the plastic and decals, but also some useful bonuses for your 148 scale aircraft. And of course this is based on the new plastic, so it features all of the modern technologies from Eduard. So you can notice that the box size is quite typical for this release. Here is comparison with my hand. Of course we have a commercial sample here, so that's the final shape of this kit and nothing will change. You will order exactly the same stuff as what you will see in this video. And box art is really good here, and on the side you can see the kit number, so it's 8229, and on the opposite side you will find 6 marking options which are included here. So as you can see, they are typical for US Navy. I don't think you will be surprised here. And that's a top opening box. So here's what we get inside. You can see that the sprues are divided into separate plastic bags, and we will be checking them one by one. And you might have also noticed that box got slightly bent during the shipment thanks to our postal services, but everything is intact inside and all of the parts are in the right places, nothing is broken off. So, for example, here we start with the clear sprue. As I said, it was packed into the separate Ziploc bag. You can notice that here we get the separate canopy parts. So it means you can open the cockpit on your aircraft, and I think it's quite important on a 148 scale release. And of course, because we get the Profipack here, it also means that we have the pre-cut masks, which we will see a bit later in the video, but they will help you to get the right, let's say, paint work on these clear parts, and of course it will look way more impressive in this scale, so definitely a welcome bonus for this thing. Next we continue with the wing parts, so that's the sprue B, and here we have quite an interesting design, so I think it's worth zooming in a bit so that you can see these wing parts. So each side should be glued out of 2 hulls. We have flaps pre-molded and ailerons are separate. So these are 2 top panels. Next we continue with the separate ailerons, and here we have the lower panels. And note that the wheel wells are pre-molded, but this section will have to be installed separately. And of course we also get the separate machine gun barrels. And external features, well, this is the standard recessed panel lines and rivets. They're all present here, and thanks to the fact that we get the kinda modern release here, so I would say it's a nice quality. Even though this is not completely, I would say, recent kit, it was on the market for some time. Still, it is a good looking thing, and for some modders I can even say that it's a nice model to work on, to start on, because of its building experience. And as you can see here, we insert the wings into the wing root slots, so here we have the special cutouts which will actually guide the parts in the right angle, and you won't have to bother with alignment because you get it here with help of this design. We also get the tail fin pre-molded, rudder is separate, and cowling is also separate. As you can see, it should be assembled out of several halves. And here inside you can see that there is almost no cockpit detailing because cockpit parts are molded separately and should be inserted in between fuselage halves. Okay, next we continue with the large gray plastic sprues. So just give me a second to open them. And here we have, first of all, the rockets for this aircraft, which is quite an interesting bonus, especially on a World War II aircraft. As you can see here, we get a full set of the rockets, and of course you are free not to use them, but I think it's a quite cool opportunity to have your Hellcat with such bonus under wings. And next is the sprue G, Here we get some of the engine parts. Also we get some of the landing gear elements. So for example, landing gear covers and wheels. Tail landing gear is molded together with a leg. And also here we have main wheel wells. It's also quite cool that we have a nicely detailed engine out of the box. So with some careful painting you can get a really nice result. And there in the lower corner you can see also some cockpit parts, which are also quite nice. And I think Profipack will bring some PE parts into this area as well. And the last grey plastic sprue is this sprue E. So here we get the tail wings, also the elevators, fuel tank, propeller, cockpit floor, bombs, and also these ailerons which are molded separately, and of course the frontal section of the engine cowling. So everything looks really cool, and I think it should be easy to work with this thing. I assembled the 1/72 scale release, which is more or less similar to what you are seeing here, so that's why I'm so sure that it will be quite a fun model to build. Nevertheless, that's not all, and I would say next thing is kinda surprising to see in a 1/48 scale Profipack. Nevertheless, we have the resin wheels, or Bryson wheels if you prefer, included into the standard package. And they're really nice, so this is a typical Bryson product. I will show it in a second a bit closer, because camera should focus. Yeah, now you should be able to see what I'm talking about. And as you can see, they're casted as a single piece part, but still they offer you an opportunity to get a bit more out of your build, so definitely a good thing to have, and I think all modelers will be happy to see it. Next, we have another useful add-on. So we get a separate plastic bag with 2 PE threads, even though some Profipacks feature only one, but here we get 2 of the PE threads, and I can see they are both dated with a 2023, which is also quite surprising. So here you can see the pre-painted PE thread, and here's another one which is unpainted. So it's not difficult to guess which parts will go where, and I think some of the unpainted parts will be even used in the cockpit. But here you can also notice this ignition lines for the engine, which is also a noticeable thing, so it's visible on the finished aircraft, even with the cowling on, so that's why I would recommend to install this thing and also to detail it a bit more. We also have pre-cut masks, as I said, so this is also typical Eduard bonus. It's ready to be used because it's a pre-cut, as I said, so you just have to take it out and apply on the clear parts and landing gear wheels, as far as you can see. Next, we have the separate plastic bag with decals. So here I have to take both decal sheets out. There are 2 of them, and it should be quite easy and quick thing to do, so just give me a moment. As you can guess, they are printed in Eduard, so there is nothing to be worried in terms of the quality issues. So if I zoom out and close the lenses a bit, now you can see what we are talking about here. This one is the biggest, and here we have the main symbols for marking options. And overall, I like what I see here. There is no segmentation, unfortunately, but still you even get some decals for the cockpit and anti-slip areas, so it will come handy as well for some modelers. And the second decal sheet is smaller. As you can see here, we get various stencils for the aircraft, and again in 1/48 scale, that's a must-have. Next, we continue with assembly manual. So here we should zoom out because it's a large color printed brochure. A short history note on the first page. If you would like to learn more, I would recommend to get some reference materials. A parts map shows that only few bits will remain untouched, which is quite surprising, to be honest. And next we start assembly process with the cockpit, so with the instrument panel, then we continue with the side consoles, cockpit floor, then cockpit gets inserted in between fuselage house, and then we start working on the tail fairings, on the engine. And on the next page, what do we have here? Wing parts. Cowling gets assembled. As you can see, there is no template, so be careful while joining it together. But overall, it's quite easy thing to work on. Next, we install wings and also some minor elements under fuselage. Landing gear gets assembled here. Next, we proceed with bombs and pylons, also external fuel tank. So all of this stuff should be installed on the aircraft as far as you can see. Next, we also have the choice between open and closed canopy, masks application guide, and that's the first marking option with the under fuselage fuel tank. Next, we have another one. Well, these two are also featuring the under fuselage fuel tank. Here we have also two aircraft with the same thing, and one more without the fuel tank, but here we also get the stenciling guide for the aircraft, and of course some resin accessories for this kit. As you can see, there are plenty of those, and you will definitely find something suitable for your model as well, because as you can see, they give you a bit more details, and in this scale it will be a noticeable change. So whole kit should be already available on official Eduard website. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about this release. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. And if you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.